One here, coming at you with another discussion video. And in today's discussion video, we are going to be talking about the best rank 4 in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, there have been many rank 4s that have been good throughout the game. Just thinking of a few iconic ones. Gaga Cowboy, Silent Honor Arc, Daigusto Emerald and Tornado Dragon being released in Maximum Crisis. I actually have it up here, don't I? Yeah, right there. And throughout the years, there have been tons and tons of rank 4s, but today I wanted to talk about the best rank 4 in the game since its original release all the way back in 2012 on its release in Abyss Rising. And this rank 4 has been really good in the game ever since its creation in the game, being played against many different decks, being used against in mirror matches, being done well in multiple different strategies, and that is Abyss Dweller. Now, I wanted to talk about Abyss Dweller today just because it's a card that I haven't really talked about on this channel very much, unless it's in a deck profile, and it's like, I feel like it's time for me to actually make a full-on discussion talking about Abyss Dweller. So, today's video, we're talking about Abyss Dweller, one of the best, the best rank 4 in the game, in my personal opinion, standing the test of time for 7 years in the game, being used almost in every format. So, for starters, let's talk about what decks this deck card was actually used against in all of the years it's been played. Well, one of the most iconic decks it was used against was Mermail, being used in the mirror match, seeing as they attempt to use their effects in Grave. Dweller just prevents it all, and also it allows them to get their own effects as well, so in the mirror match along those times. It was used against Artifact, the Hat deck, Artifact Trap Tricks, and Hand deck, Hat Artifact Trap Tricks, because you just summon the Dweller, attack into the set monster, and Dweller's effect is obviously activated, so they can't use the hand effect. Going into Duelist Alliance, the card was used against Shadows, Burning Abyss, frequently in Tellarknights, because Tellarknights was just like, hey, that's a nice card you get there. I'm gonna activate my Abyss Dweller and stop your graveyard. And Duelist Alliance format was really the time when Dweller started to become even better, was because the graveyard just became a lot more prominent then. Even though Pendulums were just announced, were just released, Dweller just became so much better just with the inception of Shadows and Burning Abyss, being that Shadows can't gain their effects when sent to graveyard, or gain their effects when just sent to the graveyard in general, and Burning Abyss can't use anything in the effects in their deck, such as Seer and Graph, because it just prevents them from ever actually occurring. Later on down the line, the card was used against Goki. Yes, that silly Goki extra link combo. If you summon the Dweller against Goki, then it's just like, oh, we can't get our additional searches now. Fun. It was then used, it is now frequent, but now back into another time leap. It was used against Burning Abyss still and other decks throughout that time, but now in the game where we are, it's being used against Thunder Dragon, Orcust, and the salamangreat mirror match. So, just looking at the test of time that's actually been used in throughout all these years, and it's also been used in many different decks throughout the years. It's been used in Tellarknights, it's been used in Constella, it's been used in Mermail themselves, it's been used in salamangreat as the latest one, it's been used in Heroes, it's been used in Pendulum Magicians, Pepe, Draco Pals. It's been used throughout the eras in this game, and Dweller has just been one of those cards that has always been a staple in the extra deck. It has always been there for decks that are able to make rank 4s, and just looking at it throughout the years, how well Dweller has been, and how much it's been used, and how good it's always been. This card has stood the test of time, and I just wanted to discuss why the card has actually done so well throughout the game. Has always been there, has always been really good, and that's the whole reason of this video, and it's the whole reason I wanted to talk about it. So, let's actually get into the proper discussion of why Dweller is the best rank 4 in the game. So, let's begin. So, Abyss Dweller, a rank 4 monster that has 2 effects, which is Well, this card has an Xyz material attached to it that was originally water. All water monsters you control gain 500 attack. So this effect was mainly used in the Frog Hero format, where you were able to just and the Mermail format, where you're able to just summon Bubble Mans or any Atlantean level 4 monster, go into the Dweller, give all your monsters an additional 500 attack, and just to be able to boost your frogs, just be able to boost your Mermails in general. It was always able to be used in those kind of formats, and any deck that was ever able to use a water monster was always using this card, because it just gave the deck that additional effect to gain that 500 attack. So that's the first thing, the first effect. The next effect, though, which is the reason this card has stood the test of time, is once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card. Any card effects that activate in your opponent's graveyard cannot be activated this turn. So that effect alone has made this card stand the test of time, being that the card had just stopping the opponent's entire graveyard for one turn has really just set this card on a bench, and was like, okay, you sit on this bench, you're going to stay here for a very long time, and you're going to always be good. And Abyss Dweller having this effect has just made it all the more powerful. As I said, this card has been able to prevent so many different decks from being able to be used, keeping it as one of the best rank 4s in the game, and that is. And the decks it's used against, as I said, Mermail, being able to prevent any of the Atlanteans, the guns, the Genex Undyne from being able to get the effect of any Atlantean, being able to prevent the Atlantean Prince from using any of the effects in the graveyard, being able to stop even Monarchs at a time. Like, literally, this card was used against Monarchs as well, being able to prevent the Pantheism, the Monarch trap card that summons stuff, the Edia, the Eidos, like just those cards alone against Monarchs this card was used against. Against it prevents the artifacts, it prevented the hands in general. Against the Shadows, it prevented the Dragon, it prevented the Shadow Construct from re-adding the card from the graveyard. It prevented the Beast from being able to draw a card, the Falco from reviving a Shadow Construct. Burning Abyss, it prevented the Seer, the Graph, the Farfa, any of the Burning Abyss monsters, the Dante itself, just those 5 decks alone, this card has been broken throughout those eras. And going into the modern era, where we're in the Link format, this card was used heavily as well. It was used against Goki, it was used against it wasn't really used at the beginning, I would say, because it didn't really see play against Trickstars, it didn't see play against these other decks, but Burning Abyss still kind of lingered around, so it was still used because of a deck like Burning Abyss still existed. But the card did see play in this format, and until Goki became relevant, so being able to just extra link your opponent with the Nightmares, being able to, and then we had other decks come along a little further down the line because of it. The card wasn't really prominently used throughout these formats. It was used still saw it see play because there was still Burning Abyss and stuff running around, but if you keep going down the line to when we get to Thunder Dragons, this card just became so much more played for multiple reasons, being that, I summon the Abyss Dweller, all your graveyard effects are irrelevant, and sure, it wasn't still very prominent then because the card was good, and it even saw play in that format when dangers were around and stuff, because the Dweller actually did prevent the dangers from just being able to go off, and it kind of prevented the danger FDK a bit because it stopped the all the danger or discard effects if they were actually hit, but it did actually see play. But when we go even further down the line, when we get to Danger, Thunder Dragon, Light of Sekka, Burning Abyss, Combo Mash, and it just became better then as well. The card has just kept getting better all the way up to the era we're in now, where we see Thunder Dragon Danger just being able to just discard tons of cards, gain the effects in the graveyard, but Dweller just prevents that, so they're unable to play the game. Against Orcust now, where we see Orcust just flying around, I'm going to use this effect in the grave, I'm going to use this effect in the grave, I'm going to use this effect in the grave. But if you Dweller them, they can't do anything, because the Dweller just prevents their graveyard, and they can't do anything else throughout that turn, except for maybe end on a Galatea Pass. And 9 times out of 10, they're not even going to have the counter trap because you can't return anything to the deck that was banished because they haven't banished anything. And if you're playing it against salamangreat, which is the deck that's prominently using Dweller right now because of it's the easiest deck to make Dweller in right now, because you just do your full combo, make the Dweller, and then pass. It prevents the Spinny, it prevents the Foxy, it prevents the Falco Engrave, the Jaguar. It prevents so many of these good cards in salamangreat in general, and Abyss Dweller is just able to do that. Abyss Dweller is just able to prevent the graveyard, which is just an amazing effect, and is one of the reasons why this card has just stood the test of time. Why it is the best rank 4. Because just having that blanket effect that says, no effects in the graveyard. No effects in the graveyard whatsoever. You can't have any effects. You can't have I don't know, you can't have a Metal Foes Fusion. You can't have a Area Zero if you're playing Sky Striker in general. Like, you can't have the Sky Striker Ray, something that I've actually done. I made the Dweller so I could attack over there, the monster, and then deal with everything else. Abyss Dweller has just stood the test of time with this one blanket effect, and it's one of the reasons why it's the best rank 4 in the game. Like, we've seen many rank 4s come and go. As I said, we've seen Honor Arc come and go. We've seen an Exiton Knight come and go. Like, that was banned for a bit, sure, but even when it came back, it's not seen any play. It's not been done. We've seen Gargoyle Cowboy come and go. Like, Gargoyle Cowboy was literally one of the best rank 4s, because you literally just get your opponent under 800 life points, Cowboy game. Like, going throughout all of Yu-Gi-Oh!, going through every single format, Abyss Dweller has been played to some degree, no matter what. Ever since its inception in 2012, it has been a card that has seen play, and I believe it even saw play against the Dragon Rulers. I think it was the set, but it was in a set before Dragon Rulers, and it was used then as well. But guys, this is just a video talking about Abyss Dweller, talking about its originality, talking about its years that it's been around, talking about why the card is such a good card, and it's always been here, it's always seen play, and you'll never, and I honestly guarantee, like, this card hasn't had an ulti print either. Think about that. This card has been around for all these years, and Konami still hasn't given it an OTS ulti print yet. It's been here for the longest time. But guys, Abyss Dweller is definitely the best rank 4 in my personal opinion. I wanted to make this video to talk about it just because of how good the card is, just because of how much it's been and how long it's been in the game and how well it's played throughout the game. And I just wanted to make this discussion to talk about it. So guys, tell me what you think is the best rank 4 in the game. I personally feel like it is Abyss Dweller, seeing as there's no rank 4 that has stood the test of time like Abyss Dweller. But guys, that's just my personal thoughts and opinion on this card and all rank 4s in the game in general. There obviously are really good rank 4s other than Dweller, like Lavarval Chain, Daigusto Emerald, 101, Gargoyle Cowboy, Supreme King, Dark Rebellion, but in my personal opinion, I feel like Dweller is just that best. It's just the best, it has the best effect just to blanket the graveyard, and I feel like that just gives it a kick over the edge. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Press the notification bell to be notified of videos as well, and I will see you guys next time. Robot1, signing out. Later all.